Once upon a time, in a small, quiet town, lived a black cat named Midnight. Midnight was no ordinary cat. He had shiny black fur, glowing green eyes, and a mysterious air about him. He lived with a kind old lady named Mrs. Willow, who adored him and treated him like family. Midnight enjoyed lounging in the sun, chasing butterflies, and napping, just like any other cat. But one stormy night, everything changed for Midnight in the most unexpected way. One night, while Midnight was sleeping on the windowsill, a huge storm rolled into town. The sky was lit up with lightning, and thunder roared like a mighty lion. Mrs. Willow rushed to close the windows, but just as she was about to shut the last one, a bolt of lightning struck right next to Midnight. The lightning didn't harm him, but something strange happened. Midnight's fur started to tingle, his whiskers glowed, and his eyes shone even brighter than before. He leapt from the windowsill, feeling a rush of energy he had never felt before. Midnight had gained superpowers. The next morning, Midnight noticed something was different. As he wandered around the house, he accidentally knocked over a vase. Instead of crashing to the ground, the vase floated in mid-air. Midnight blinked in surprise, realizing that he had the power to control objects with his mind. Curious, he went outside to explore. As he jumped over a fence, Midnight leapt much higher than usual, soaring through the air like a bird. He had gained the power of super agility. Midnight could jump higher, run faster, and move more gracefully than any other cat in the world. As Midnight practiced his new abilities, he soon discovered one more power: he could disappear into the shadows. Whenever he wanted, he could blend in with the darkness and become invisible to everyone around him. Midnight was no longer just an ordinary cat, he had become a superhero. One day, while Midnight was out exploring the town, he heard a cry for help. A little boy had lost his kite in a tree, and no one could reach it. Midnight knew this was his moment to help. Using his super agility, he leapt up the tree in a flash, grabbed the kite with his paws. He floated it gently down to the boy using his mind powers. The boy was amazed. "Thank you, Mr. Cat," he exclaimed, hugging his kite. Midnight gave a proud purr and disappeared into the shadows before anyone else could see him. From that day on, Midnight decided to use his powers to help others in secret. Whenever someone in town needed help, Midnight would be there, hidden in the shadows, using his amazing powers to make things right. One evening, as Midnight was patrolling the town, he overheard a group of people talking about a robber who had been sneaking into houses and stealing things. Midnight's ears perked up. He knew he had to stop this robber before he could do any more harm. That night, Midnight followed the clues and found the robber sneaking around Mrs. Willow's neighbor's house. The robber thought no one could see him in the dark, but Midnight had the power to see everything. Quietly, Midnight slipped into the shadows, blending in perfectly. As the robber tried to break into the house, Midnight used his mind powers to close the window before the robber could enter. The robber looked confused, but before he could try again, Midnight jumped out from the shadows. He used his super agility to swipe the bag of stolen goods from the robber's hand. Startled, the robber tried to grab the bag back, but Midnight disappeared into the darkness. The robber panicked and ran away, never to be seen again. Thanks to Midnight's quick thinking, the town was safe once more. Word spread around town about the mysterious, shadow hero, who had been helping people. No one knew who it was, but they were grateful for the hero's kindness.